It's a first of its kind in British Columbia.
I just think that's a really big piece that's missing, is having the boots on the ground.
An all-Indigenous initial attack crew fighting fires in their First Nation, and the idea came from Simp First Nation's fire chief.
Had meetings with BC Wildfire, Emergency Management BC, and everybody really liked the idea to have Indigenous initial attack crews embedded right into BC Wildfire, but it never really gained any traction when we started talking about who was going to pay for it.
Until this aggressive fire season, when he brought up the idea again and signed an agreement with BC Wildfire Service.
The vision with this Indigenous attack crew is they'll be doing prescribed burns in the spring. We do have a big burning campaign, and I also think it's really important to build relationships prior to an emergency, and that's what this crew would do.
They'll also be doing fire smarting, cross-cultural training, and fuel reduction.
It's all important.
One forestry expert says the province has much to learn from Indigenous knowledge.
We are in a new era of mega fires, and it really makes it urgent that we learn to coexist, that we adapt, and begin to think about how to coexist with fire.
Fire mitigation is needed to coexist, and changes can happen now.
Individual homeowners need to fire smart their homes. We need to support community wildfire resilience plans. They have to be that action that is occurring in terms of fuels mitigation in and around communities in the immediate vicinity where they're most vulnerable. There has to be also the backup at the landscape level. We need to start managing for forest resilience across landscapes.
Thinning out the forest and broadcast burns are also essential.
From an ecological perspective, I think broadcast burns have a very, very important role to play. And I'm hoping that over the next few years, it will be part of our learning to coexist with fire. More broadcast burns in the future.
On Friday, BC's Premier says the province is developing a 12-month-a-year approach to be better prepared to fight wildfires. In a written statement, the Ministry of Forests, Lands, Natural Resource Operations and Rural Development says, in recent years, the BC government has invested heavily in wildfire prevention and preparedness initiatives to help keep British Columbians safe and protect the province's natural resources and infrastructure. A community resiliency investment program was established in 2018 to fund fire smarting and Crown land wildfire risk reduction. The BC government strongly supports the efforts of local governments and First Nations to reduce wildfire risk. But Dr. Daniels says advancements aren't happening fast enough.
All sorts of excuses why we can't do that as fast as we're thinking, or it costs too much, or there's a lot of inertia in the system, or there's always a reason why we're unwilling to change, but we're paying the price every single summer.
The fire chief wants every First Nation in BC to have their own Indigenous initial attack crew.
They could do a lot of the prep work that's needed around the communities, and they can also be trained to stay back.
Alana Kelly, Glacier Media.